everyone. Today I am highly indebted to Women Technology House for inviting me and for giving me an opportunity to share my experiences with all the women around, with all the people around who are aspiring to do something with their lives. Let me introduce myself first. I've been given a list of questions by them, and I would like to go one by one, but I'm first of all going to introduce myself. My name is Maidah Arshad, and I hail from the valley of Peshawar, which is located in the northwest of Pakistan, as you're all familiar with that. For those who are not from Pakistan, it's for them to know that Peshawar is the capital of 𝗠LGBT province. Now, talking about my field, so I have a degree in development studies from NUST, National University of Sciences and Technology. Before that, I got a degree in political science from Peshawar University. And besides that, I have had the opportunity to work in the development sector as well as the entrepreneurial ecosystem for quite a bit. Talking about my field, well, as far as my field is concerned, I've got the opportunity. I mean, I did get the opportunity to work at different times. I've been volunteering a lot. After volunteering, I started doing a lot of community work, which is also a form of volunteering again. Then I got the opportunity to work full-time for a TV channel. I've worked with WAGS, Worldwide Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. I was heading the KPK chapter for Pakistan Girl Guides Association back in 2013 to 2015, to be precise. Besides that, I was the vice president of the Young Women Writers Forum, Peshawar chapter again, for a tenure of 1.5 years. Similarly, I've worked with PTV News. I've been an anchor person with them, and I used to host a political talk show. It was an analytical talk show, and it was a live program that I used to conduct. I used to host a TV show back in 2010. I've conducted a TV show from 2010 till 2013, where I used to talk about various issues that had plagued the society, social problems, social norms used to be discussed, and we used to talk about, ways we could progress and we could help the youth of Pakistan in particular progress. Okay, talking a little bit about my family background. So basically, I belong to Peshawar, and my father hails from Peshawar as well. So my mother, she belongs to Karachi. So there's like a mix of different cultures, and I got to learn and interact with so many people from different places, because I've been to Karachi, I've been to Punjab, because my mother's family hails from there, and my grandmother's family, that is my paternal grandmother's family, was also there. So I got to interact with all the people in different provinces and learn so much about different cultures, like a heterogeneous mixture of cultures, a melange of cultures where you get to interact, learn, absorb, and grow. My father, so I hail from an army background. My father is a retired army officer, and he's currently working with the KP Golf Association. He is the ex-secretary of the KP Golf Association as well, and he's a Pakistani color holder and a retired army officer. My mother, on the other hand, is a doctor, and in her pastime, she loves designing, so she's also a dress designer for that matter. Okay, my education. So basically, initially, because we were, I'm from an armed family background, so we used to move around a lot. So I started my education from Peshawar, and then we moved to Karachi. We were there for quite a bit, and from second grade onwards, I was in Peshawar. I studied from Beacon House school system. And after that, I got my bachelor's degree from Peshawar University, and my master's degree from National University of Sciences and Technology in Islamabad. Okay, now for how long I've been in this field? So basically, I probably did not mention this earlier. I'm currently working as an insights and communications lead at Impact Dynamics. And Impact Dynamics happens to be, we're an organization and we help businesses bloom. We create and curate curriculum for entrepreneurs, incubation centers, and we help businesses with their strategy, for improving their sales, their pitching, etc. And I have been working with them since the past 2.5 years now, I would say. And it has really been a very, very, very good journey, I would say. It's been very rewarding because I've learned a lot over the passage of time, how to interact with different people, how to communicate, how to deal with people at the workplace. So many things come into play when you have to work with people from different mindsets, from different backgrounds, from different ethnicities for that matter. Okay, what is my motivation to join this field? Well, I've always liked to work for development, but at the same time, I've always wanted to also, encourage entrepreneurs to include sustainable development goals in their ventures and pursuits, or on the other side to, have an element of development or social impact in their startups. So that really pushed me to work in the ecosystem and to identify different stakeholders who could help these startups or who could help these small businesses boom, but at the same time, help them consider gender equality rights or gender equity rights, and also, how to make their businesses more sustainable for the environment, etc. For instance. What is my greatest fear? Okay. Technically, I think there's a lot of fears in your life, but there's a lot of phobia as well. I get scared of heights, I would say. But I feel, and I've recently discovered that if you fear God, then all these fears, they go away and they mean nothing at all. What qualities are lacking in today's leader? So I personally feel that in today's leader, because I also run sessions for Google Business Group, Google Business Group chapter, Peshawar chapter. I'm currently the Women Will Lead for them, and I give workshops for that chapter. I feel that our people lack self-confidence, and women have imposter syndrome where they feel that they're not good enough. And when they feel that they're not good enough, they feel that they cannot lead. You cannot lead until and unless you're really clear-cut in your decisions and your plans and your strategies. That's what I feel. Okay, now what are the challenges that I've faced during, in getting this position? Well, personally, I did not face any challenge as such, but I'm just going to briefly highlight a little bit about the challenges that I see that women around face while, working somewhere or in whichever field. It may be education, it may be health sector, it could be entertainment sector, it could be academia. I feel that there's always been a bias, a gender bias, where women have been sidelined, and it's been proven. This is not just in our culture. This is not just in East. This is not just in South. It's also there in North. West may be common here that generally men are well paid for jobs and positions for which women are equally qualified. One, and secondly, women are usually asked to do menial jobs or menial tasks at work. For example, they're asked to take minutes of the meeting. They're asked to, ask the runners around to bring chai and samosa to the meeting, stuff like that. Things that men would never be asked to do. I'm not saying that anything's less of a work to do or is demeaning or degrading. But I feel that women are made to feel that they're not good enough, even if they're well qualified, even if they're well accomplished. There's still, a stigma attached to hiring women, having women on board, and having women lead, I would say, because when a woman leads, they call her bossy, and when a man leads, he's known to be or called or so-called proclaimed. What a good boss he is! Wow, he is a leader in the true sense of the word. Well, that's how it is. Okay, from whom do I take inspiration from? So there's a lot of inspiring people in my life, starting from my family. I would say my grandparents, my paternal grandfather. He's one of the oldest practitioners of Peshawar, and due to medical practitioners, mashallah, he's 92 years old, and due to his services, he's been, there's been the government of KPK back like a decade ago. They named a roundabout in cantonment after him, Dr. Muhammad Yunus Chowk, Dr. Muhammad Yunus Square, that is. He's a very humble and grounded person, and he's always helped the poor, never cared about his pocket, never cared about how much money he's making. And that really inspires me, because he says that when you give from your pocket, you get double the amount. That's God's promise. Besides that, my maternal grandfather, may Allah be pleased with him, he passed away back in 1995. I was very young, but I still remember what a noble guy he was. He was a gentleman in the true sense of the word. Very well read, very learned, and he would always advocate for women's rights. And from whatever I've learned about him, from my aunts and from my mother and from my uncles, he was an epitome of grace and a thorough gentleman. Then, of course, I seek inspiration from my parents. My mother, I would say that she's a very strong woman. She's been through, a lot of, she's struggled a lot in her life. She's worked really hard in her life to make herself successful, and she's sort of poised the balance between family life and her profession. So she's a very well accomplished woman, and has a heart of gold. My father, on the other hand, is very, he's extremely loving, and he's extremely caring, and he just loves giving away and doing whatever he can, rather more than his needs for others. And I seek inspiration from all these people. And yes, there's one more person, my father-in-law. He really inspires me. The kind of person he is. He's very grounded, very humble, very hardworking, and I've always seen a gentleman in him as well. He's a retired PESCO chief of KP. Very hardworking, industrious, honest to his profession, extremely sincere, unlike many other people in the government sector. So I seek inspiration from all these people, and yes, of course, so many others as well. But if I go on mentioning that, then the rest of the questions in line will not be answered in due time. Okay. The next question would be, okay, what you think are the new emerging fields for girls? I feel that this is a time where skills are more valued than degrees. So women who acquire skills, it could be in coding, it could be in data science, it could be in, myriad fields, it could be in fields related to arts as well, like cooking, culinary arts, makeup artistry, and women who can actually write really well, who are good orators. These are the women who are actually going to be, really influential working women in the coming years, say a decade or so. And I feel that these fields better fit women because they can work at their own pace, have their own timings. There's no 9 to 5 restriction. There's flexi hours whenever whenever it's feasible for you. Suppose if you have a toddler to take care of. You know your timings, you know your appointments. If you're working from home on your laptop, if you're freelancing, even then you know your timings, etc. So I think fields like that where this flexi hours and there's like a flexibility to accommodate women with their timings and with their schedules are going to suit women better than the traditional jobs and titles that they usually have. Okay, from where can a naive person get started? I think, okay, firstly, I feel that everyone has something in them, and it's important to first value yourself and feel that, yes, I can do it. Have a to-do spirit. Once you do that, sky's the limit. Nowadays, you have so many facilities. We have internet. That's the most valuable resource. You can go online, check out tutorials and videos on YouTube. There's a plethora of information, a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure you're going to find something there. Just learn, go to Coursera, do different courses from there. Speak to people. You know, there's different forums on, say, Facebook, where people have conversations. They can help each other out. You know, you can find out ways to help your own self. And trust me, no one's going to help you. You can only help your own self. Message for the audience would be just remain grounded, be humble, thank Allah for whatever you have, because it's Him who has given or bestowed everything upon you. And keep working hard. Sky's the limit. I would just like to thank the hosts for having me over. I think it was a lovely experience talking about my journey through impact dynamics, you know, for whatever work I've done. I keep forgetting things. I've also, by the way, I'm just telling this to my audience right now. I've also taught students at Iqra University, Peshawar. So a wealth of experience from teaching, from volunteering, from you know, these days working as a communications and insights lead, then working with Google Business Group, then working with a Worldwide Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts and Young Women Writers Forum, etc. So all of that just makes it, you know, the experience all the more enriching, I believe. And I would like to thank the hosts for having me, and it was lovely sharing my experience with everyone. Take care. Allah Hafiz.